right, sir. You come on. Sorry, which one of the three?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, public officials, concerned citizens.
I'd
like to thank you for this opportunity. My name is Charles Butler. I'm a talk show host and political commentator, nationally syndicated. I support this amendment to the ordinance, and support it wholeheartedly. I am not an immigrant. I'm a Black American. My family's been here since the 1700s. I want to make a couple of observations. I'm one of the last speakers. I'm going to be quick. In 1968, Commissioner Sylvester, Richard Nixon did want to address illegal immigration, but it was because Cesar Chavez asked him to put troops on the southern borders to keep the immigrants from coming into America. And he was also joined by Ralph Abernathy in the Southern Leadership Conference. Civil War, by the way, was fought over preserving the Union and the slavery issue, not freeing the slaves, and our economy. And last but not least, somebody mentioned deporting a 15-year-old to Colombia. Well, the truth is, the lady didn't identify herself, the young girl didn't identify herself. She lied about her name, she lied about a lot of things. That goes back to being a citizen, having documentation. There's a reason we have documentation. Families being separated. The bottom line is, people, when a parent gets deported, they're responsible for their child, not the state. The child should not become a ward of the state, nor does the 14th Amendment really say if you're born here, you're an American. So, but if you are, you still should be taken care of by your parents. Our immigration laws are not broken. They need to be enforced. People I don't see here, we've mentioned ICE, we've mentioned the state, we've mentioned some other things. But we kind of set ourselves up for this when we talk about a sanctuary city, we talk about a sanctuary state. The feds aren't enforcing the laws. We should ask people to enforce our laws. Our congressmen should be here, our senators should be here on this issue. This is a very important issue. Why not ask Mexico to pay for their citizens who we hold incarcerated? We give them $30 billion a year in foreign aid. We send another $28 billion down in remittances. What else do we have to do? We have all these special programs. It becomes a little, yeah, you're right, disconcerting because people refuse to stand up and act like Americans. If you're here illegally, you need to go and come back legally. There's a reason you're undocumented.
Amen.
I think you have a fan from your TV.
Yeah.
Well, I have a few fans, Commissioner, thank you. But, there's a group out in Mexico called ANAMI, which I had an unfortunate experience running into. They're our equivalent of ICE. I was in Mexico doing business, and I had my papers to do business in Mexico. But because there's so much corruption in Mexico, I had some legal issues that we addressed. But the bottom line is, if you think you've ever been racially profiled, as I have been here in Chicago because I drive a S550, or I was in San Diego, California, where I flew F-14s and drove a 911 Porsche, and people said, well, how can you afford to drive this car? And I'm in my uniform and my car, okay? So racial profiling, that's not even an issue here. We're talking about people. If I had a tail light out and you pulled me over, you're supposed to pull me over, ask me for my ID. If my citizenship comes up, I'm not here. Guess what? I'm busted. I got to deal with it. So all I want to say, folks, is the right message for you all, and I really support this new amendment. I think it's a solid amendment. I think it's well thought out. And you guys are just doing a fantastic job under President Pretwinkle. I want to say the right message is to obey the law.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amen.
Joseph Watkins.